Hello, my name's Katy Schutte. I play with the Maydays and Project 2, and I run the Improv place with Chris Mead. So that's me, hello. Today, I'd quite like to do a Harold with you. I thought, what's the most inappropriate thing to try and do practically on a video for like any level? And I figured that was it. So just for fun, we're gonna do a bunch of stupid warm-ups that you can do on your own, in your house. And then I'm going to talk you through, and you're going to do it. You're going to do a solo Harold while I just prompt you every so often. It'll be a little tiny micro one, a little small one. And it might be terrible, and that's fine because it's fun and it's learning, so that's okay. If you haven't done improvisation before, just to let you know, failure is hugely embraced. So if you feel stupid, if this feels a bit weird, that's perfectly fine. If there's other people in your house and they come in and go, what's happening? Then invite them to join in. It's all good. Okay, so we're going to do a couple of warm-ups. First thing is sat down like I am, and I'm going to get you to just put your feet flat on the floor and your hands in your lap or some other position where it's comfortable for you to be sat down. And we're just going to take a few deep breaths. And the reason for doing that is it chills us out. It's a little mini micro meditation, but also it means that you can arrive in a space to do this little session. And if you haven't done it already, shut any doors around you, turn off your notifications on your devices, and give yourself a little special space to do this in. Okay, so hands on your thighs or resting on your legs, comfortable, kind of neutral position, sit up straight, and then you can close your eyes, or you can just kind of glance down and not shut your eyes if that feels better or easier for you. And then you can take a nice deep breath and hold it a little bit and then let it go. Do this at your own speed. And the next one's going to be quite noisy. If people haven't already wandered into your room, they probably will now. Great. Take one more super loud breath just on your own. Great. You have arrived. Huzzah. Well done. Also, thank yourself for giving yourself this time to mess around and do some improv. So here's the next thing I want to do, which is going to use your space a little. So I'm standing up and just going to glance around your room, and we're going to point at things and say what they are. It's not very taxing yet. So for me, a lot of these things might be off camera, but I'm just pointing at things that there are. So I'm like dinosaur, cup, pen. You don't have to go pick them up. It's just so you can see. Book, tree, pile of magazines, handbag. So while I'm doing this, you just go ahead and point at stuff in your room. The important thing is, rather than looking at the thing first and then naming it and pointing it, if you can switch it up so that you're leading with your body. So you're just like, pow, and then look down the end of your finger and see what you're pointing at. So I'd be like, light, calendar, curtain, scarf, goat. I have a knitted goat. So just go ahead and try that. I'm going to have a lot of tea sipping breaks during this. Amazing work, love it. I'm just assuming. Okay, cool. And the next thing we're going to do is you're going to point at stuff again, lead with your body, like some dynamic modern dance moves. And this time you're going to say whatever it isn't. So I would say football, dream about Obama, bunch of flowers, etc. Again, just leading with your body. Go point at stuff, say what it is not. Last Tuesday, thoughts I had before, a bin, the floor. You keep going. Great object. Yes, that's very funny. Love it, loving your work. Again, just assuming. Brilliant. So we're going to do one more iteration of this, and this time you're going to point and say stuff that you're actually going to do it one behind. So the first thing I point at, boom, this guy's getting a lot of airtime. So I would point at this guy, but I wouldn't say dinosaur, I would just point. Then the next thing I point at, I'm going to say dinosaur. And the next thing I point at, I'm going to say pen, because that's the last thing I held, right? So you're always saying one thing behind, but looking at the thing in front of you. Great, go ahead and try that. I'm going to do a couple on my own and then just watch you. Right. Bottle, box, goat, drinking horn. I do have a drinking horn. Piece of paper, scarf, air conditioner, ukulele, felt storage pouch, bin, radiator, chair, book about dinosaurs. It's pretty dinosaur heavy. So just keep doing that for a second. Amazing. Cool, so you can obviously pause this and do this a bit longer if you would like to. But it's interesting, just take a second to interrogate which one of those iterations was harder for you. For some people, saying stuff that isn't there at all is harder because like, oh my gosh, I actually have to be in this complete creative space where like, oh, I have to pluck something out of nowhere and say it. If you're already an improviser, that may feel easier just to be spontaneous and creative. You may find that all those things are lists, like you just list a bunch of fruit or something, which is fine. If you want to boss it up a level, if that becomes easy, then you can try like, oh, I would like everything to be disassociated just to make my brain work harder. You don't have to do that. That's like a extra credit. And some people find the word behind one more difficult because you're kind of doing two tasks. You're doing a memory task and you're doing a pointing task. Cool. So that's a nice way of getting used to layering things up in your scenes. But just notice for yourself which one's harder or easier. Great. We're going to do another physical thing. I do this with a lot of online workshops because it's useful for things like dyslexia. It marries up both sides of your brain a little bit. If you've done this before, then just do it faster. So you're going to take one arm. I'm going to hit the ceiling. One arm goes up and down in a rhythm. Like 1, 2, 1, 2. Great. And the other arm has a different rhythm. So we're going to do that on its own. It goes up, out, and down. So like 1, 2, 3. You're right, my tattoo is awesome. Thank you. Okay. And now we're going to do both at the same time. So this arm goes up and down. This arm goes up, out, and down. So it ends up looking like this. Great, I've already messed it up, perfect. Applaud yourself if you mess things up. So, one's doing up and down, one's doing up, out and down. And if you're me, you're also doing talking, which makes it harder. Great, if you mess it up, you will. Just start again and just go back to 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and break it down. Cool, so have a little go at that. If you're like, I completely nailed this, this is just tapping your head, rubbing your stomach, oh my gosh, it's so easy, then switch arms. See if you can do it the other way around. Is that easier or harder? And if you're like crushing it so hard you want to turn this video off because it's so easy, then you can do the whole pattern on one side and then maybe switch over in the middle. Great. So that is just something you can approach every day. Other things that are good for marrying up those parts of your brain are like if you've learned to juggle or you're just tossing one ball from one hand to another, anything that connects like this side and that side and a little bit of thinking. Super great for waking up your brain. Really good for a working day as well. Nice. Okay, cool. Here's an exercise that I got from Jill Bernard, who is amazing. This is a blink story. So if you've ever played word at a time story in improvisation, you take a word, your partner, your friend, takes the next word in the story, and then it's your go. This is so you can do that on your own. But instead of switching, you blink on every other word. So it'd be like, once upon a time there was, etc. Sounds easy maybe. So have a go at that. Just give you 30 seconds to play that on your own. You can start with once upon a time or whatever you want, doesn't matter. If it doesn't make any sense anymore, hooray! High five yourself, because you can't high 10 yourself. Maybe your feet. Just go ahead, have a go. Great. And another game that's really fun, you can do this sat down or standing up. I do have a wheelie chair. Is Solo Hotspot. So Hotspot is a game where you're just singing one song and allowing that to inspire another song. Maybe the next song has a word that's the same or a little bit of music that's similar. So it might be like, let's see if I can play it. Ooh, I wanna dance with somebody. I wanna feel the heat with somebody. Ooh, I wanna dance, magic dance. Dance, magic dance. Right? So I was using the word, I found the word dance in the first song that I just randomly sang, and then I was like, oh, I've got another song with dance in it. Great. And just keep singing the same song until you go into another one. It is not about singing, it's about making associations. So you go ahead. I would love it if you can transition between 3 songs. I'm not going to sing because I feel like that's going to put you off singing. But yeah, go ahead. You're crushing this. I'm just going to add like gentle background enthusiasm. Oh my God, you're amazing this game. Also, if you can't do this, it's fine. If you literally can't find a link between this song and another song, you can't think of a second song while you're singing one, totally fine. Release the need to make a link. Just be like, okay, at some point I have to sing a different song. And you don't have to sing well, and it really doesn't matter if you can't remember the words, you can just la 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 or repeat the same bit. But you keep going, you're doing great. Amazing. Should make more tea. Okay, cool. I'm gonna leave that with you, and you can practice that some more after this if you like, or pause the video here while you do it for a bit, and then I'll do the next exercise. So the next thing we're gonna do is me dropping in words. So you're gonna tell me a story. If you like, it can just be a true story, like a holiday that you went on, or a day that you remember from school, if that comes to mind pretty easily. And if you would like to make up a completely fictional story, that is also fine. And what I'm gonna do is just lean in and say words every so often. And your job is to listen to my words and incorporate them into your story. So if it's a true story, you're gonna end up lying. If there might not be a frog in it, but if I've said frog, there has to be a frog in that story. And I'm going to speed up how often I give you those words, so that it's going to become more of a challenge. Don't wait too long before you fold that thing into your story. Okay, so start telling me your story. Really amazing. Trumpet. So put a trumpet in your story, but keep the original story. Milk. Weather balloon. Party. Sunday. Yellow. Wisdom. Bench. The end. Sure it wasn't. Yay, good job, amazing. Okay, great. So we were going to talk about Harold, which seems like forever ago. So I'm just going to give you a few little guidelines. We're going to do a micro, like 5-minute Harold, okay? Just for you in your living room, and it doesn't have to be good. Okay. So the first thing is, I'm going to give you a word. Your word is laundry, okay? That is the beginning of your thing. If you don't know what a Harold is, by the way, it doesn't matter. I'm just going to give you instructions, and you're going to create tiny little play with more than one character. Okay. So the first thing that happens is you're going to think about laundry. Okay. This is just you. We're going to keep stopping and starting. So think about laundry. What do you associate with it? Do you have any memories of it? I know that Yeah, my a boyfriend that I had once would always violently shake his laundry in order to hang it up, and he told me that it's because he wanted it to like be flat so it would dry more quickly. But it was quite odd because he wasn't a very like person, but he looked like he was when he did laundry. So that's a memory that comes up for me. So if you can think of something associated with laundry that's personal, that's great. If the word just gives you an idea of a location, like your house or a laundrette or something like that, that is where you could set a scene, or anything associated with that word. Great. So you're going to have a scene with two characters, dun, 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 and I'd like your characters to be something you just find around your room. So for me, I knit too many things. I'm glad they're coming up in this video. So I've got this lion and I've got this pen. So they would be my two characters. So I just want you to do a little bit of an exchange. I want you to make sure they both have names. And my name's going to be Lion and Pen because I'm a genius. So have a little scene between your two objects. Blah, 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 blah. Know where it's set. Have an idea of what's going on between them. Great scene, amazing. That was scene one. Cool. So now you're going to do another scene, also inspired by laundry. So I'd like you to look around and pick two other things. So I found a watch and a mug. I look so insane, and so do you. Well done, us. Scene two, about laundry. Have a little chat between these characters. It'd be great if it's set somewhere different than your first scene and it doesn't mention the first scene at all. It's as if this is also scene one of your show to do with laundry, okay? So if the other one's set in a laundrette, this one is definitely not. Cool? This might be the scene that's got my mum in it. If that one was set at a laundrette, this is just the character of my mum is in this because I think of laundry with her. Yay, feminism. Cool? Have a little tiny 1 minute scene between these. Shorter, just a few lines. Blah, 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 blah. How do they know each other? Where are they? What's going on? Love it. Okay, great. Scene three. Find some other stuff. So I've got some headphones and a jar. These are my characters for my third scene. So again, I'm going to pretend this is like, I've just heard the suggestion, laundry. And I'm going to think, all right, cool. So I can't set it in a laundry. It can't really be about a mum or my mum because I've already done those things. So what else? Oh, I know. This jar is going to be playing the part of a shirt, which makes it much more complicated. And the headphones can genuinely be headphones. Oh, and make sure you named your characters. I'm just naming all my characters apart from shirt with what they are. So I have watch and mug and headphones and shirt. Great. Have a little scene. Boop, boop, boop. Oh my god, that's so good. You're phenomenal. Great, end that scene. That is amazing. So now you've got your three scenes. You've got 6 characters. Great. Now you're going to take a little break for yourself. So I'd like you to just see what else is going on in your house. For me, there are people chatting outside. That's what they're saying. I can't hear the words. So whatever else is going on in your house, if there's something around you that's inspiring you, I'd like you to emulate or mess around with that. So I might walk around my room going, blah, 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 blah. I might try and find a character out of that. Guys. I was just thinking, guys. It doesn't need to turn into a scene. You don't have to know where it is. You don't have to know what's going on, and there doesn't have to be any story resolution, okay? So you're just exploring a little theme for yourself. It can be abstract. Go. They got quite shouty. I'm in Clapham, that happens. Okay, great, boom. We got a few more scenes to go. It's fine though. Great, so scene 1, which for me was Pen and Lion. I can follow the location if I want, so I'm going to do that. I'm actually going to ditch these 2 characters, which is a shame because this guy's a legend. And I'm going to say, actually, there's 2 other characters, and they are in the laundry. So I'd like you to follow your location. You don't have to do that in a Herald. I'm going to give you different ways of following scenes. So It's still the laundry for me, but now it's going to be a pad and pencil. Great, and do whatever you want with yours. Great, so let's have a little scene. This is me in an old people's home, I think. That's what I'll be like. Blah, blah, blah. Great, amazing scene, you did it, hooray. Cool. Next scene, I had a watch and mug. And this time you're going to choose your favorite character from this scene and you're going to follow them. So, that's tricky. I'm going to follow Mug, I guess. So who would Mug's best friend be? Obviously, Mug's best friend would be a Matt. Hey, look, it's an advert for an improv show. Nerd. So I'm going to have a scene between them. I think I didn't define who was playing my mum. So let's say it was this. So this might be Dad. Great. So mum and dad have a little scene together. It doesn't have to be about the scene that happened before. This character is enough information to tie those scenes together. Great, have a little scene. Great job. Okay, cool. So scene 3. Now, what else can you do? So you followed a location, you followed a character. Now I'd like you to follow an idea. So because this was a shirt, this shirt was going through some kind of transformation. I'm like, oh, that seems deep. So rather than following the shirt or the headphones, I'm going to follow the idea of transformation. So what other things are transformed? So looking at what else I have on my desk. Man, I have so many dinosaurs in my house. I'm just reaching over to get this plant. So transformation here is this plant growing over time. So I'm going to have a scene, a solo scene for me, just with this plant talking to camera. You can do whatever scene you want. Try and pick a theme of whatever happened in your third scene before. Great, have a little tiny scene. I'm so transformative. Whatever. Great, yay. Okay, now you're going to have another little game beat, like the one I got you to just say something random or emulate something that was going on. I'd like you to do that again, not the same thing. You could vamp off the same thing. Think about laundry, think about everything that's gone before, no plot stuff, and just see what's going on. Is there any rhythmical thing you want to go with? For me, it's quite hot in my house, so I feel like I would just start with this gesture. And then maybe have a crazy fly in my room and let that stress me out for a couple minutes. So take your inspiration from anything or anyone and just do something a little bit abstract that isn't quite a scene. Amazing. Okay, great. Now you either have 3 more scenes to do, whereas you're just revisiting a bunch of your characters and creating connections between those worlds, or you can have one big scene which revisits everything you like, depending on where you learned the Herald. So for me, looking at all my stuff, there are connections that I might make. So I'm going to say, Mum split up with Dad. They didn't split up, it didn't happen, but I'm going to say somewhere along the way there's a breakup because this amazing lion is a coaster. There's a coaster lion, so that makes sense. So those two are hanging out. Maybe it's back in time. Maybe they're former lovers. So look at the stuff you have and make connections. I also had pencil and pad earlier, so I figure like pen and pad also makes sense. And maybe the watch is there for Pomodoro technique to make sure whatever task these characters have to get done, they have to get done together with a timer on. And look at your transformation as well. So is there anything transformative that you can bring forward from a theme that you've already created? So for me, it'd be transforming this page from a blank page into a page that has stuff written on it. Cool. So do either one scene or a few little scenes that make connections between your characters. I'm going to leave you to go and do the last beat or beats of your Herald. If there's any way you can bring in those abstract kind of in-between scene beats as well, that'd be super cool. For me, maybe they all transform into stressful fly swatting people or shouty people in the street. and that is my transformation theme. Boom, I've tied it all together. So have fun finishing your micro Harold. Have a great day. Celebrate yourself. Give yourself a treat. Well done. Keep doing improv. I love you. Bye.